ushuru we.
So anakutikia all obligations. So you're supposed to only pay income tax for a resident individual.
Yeah.
Lakini now atakutikia value added tax. And value added tax
means
is an obligation that you need to pay to file monthly.
On a real story apaka ni kweli, I didn't know.
Okay,
you know, he said it during the conversation.
But she adopted a cat. So you don't follow Lupita on social media?
To say what exactly? I'm not going into film. I've not seen any of her movies. I'll disappoint na ile ingine.
So no, you don't follow on social media.
I don't follow.
Jojo unakwanga IG 24/7.
Lakini I see posts from her, but I've never seen anything about a breakup. In fact,
bad.
I've never known she is dating.
Yeah, you guys.
Nani alijua hapa Lupita na date?
Niwe peke yako.
Director, assistant.
Kwanza walifanyanga ile challenge ya couples wana clap alafu outfits zina change.
Okay, I've realized that the problem is I don't even know who else is dating.
Yeah,
so I think that it's not a Lupita thing, it's just a everyone thing. I don't care for who is dating who and why.
Unajua, hey, let me tell you. Instagram, but it was sad.
Yeah, I didn't know. So that was pretty surprising to most of us. The rest of us who didn't know about Lupita clearly.
It was very sad.
It was something. So,
anyway, guys.
Now tuko serious. Hadi niko na miwani. We are talking business.
Serious. Welcome back to Long Story Short.
Yeah.
Karibuni sana.
Long story short.
Thank you so much for watching the last episode. So we are back. And this time we want to talk about serious stuff.
Yeah.
Tumeanza mwaka. Action, tumesikiza, tumependa. Sasa tunataka kuongea serious stuff.
Watu wamesema, hatuna pesa kwa mfuko nini. How do you navigate taxes? We are here for you.
The traffic right now is, in as much as kids have opened school,
barabara iko safi.
Yes.
Bwana tafuteni pesa. Unasikia Jackie anasema nini? Ajui hiyo ni nini. What is that? She's still driving a car to work. That is why she knows. The traffic has been something.
Is it though? Ama anatumia math.
Sijua. Maneno ya Mungu ni mengi. Ya Mungu ni mengi, ya kuku ndo mayai.
Anyway, so today we want to talk about taxes and finances.
Something that we said in the last episode that if there was one thing Kenyans really thought of, talked about the conversation was tax. People even knew that people who didn't know how much they pay.
Of course, a lot of people like
they just used to know ati kuna pesa wewe inaingia kwa mfuko yake.
Yes.
So when that money reduced, they were like, whoa, wait a minute.
So Jojo, tell us, I want to ask you a question, a serious question. What comes to your mind when you think about taxes, KRA, the economy, like specifically taxes?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. KRA has done a fantastic job on that brand.
Yeah, true.
Are we jitegemearing? Is the
question.
Kidogo pesa zinazoenda kwa ushuru na nini. I don't default taxes only because I believe give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. I think when I was in campus, when you think about GDP, when you hear my first interaction with GDP in primary school, high school and then in campus, and you come to realize GDP doesn't truly say the state of events of a country.
Yeah.
So you can't say that the Kenyan's economy GDP is rising and we are not factoring in illegal businesses, we are not factoring trafficking, we are not factoring illegal weapons. These businesses are in this country. If you are living in Delululand, kitu isikudanganya, they are there. Like very in any other country in the world.
Very true.
So I think what comes to mind when I think about taxes is kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea, yes, but do I think our country is currently using the taxes to help people? I highly doubt it because our infrastructure is still, well, as you can see, and services, health services, which is something that I think we will talk about at some point. Healthcare in Kenya. It's not at its best, given the resources we have. Are people defaulting taxes? Very much, yes. So much so that a conversation I was having with a couple of guys last week was, there was a conversation of people who work from home, if they need to be taxed too. Because if your revenue points are out of this world,
Okay, so people who are working from home in terms of
No, running your business.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Say
Yeah.
if you do these kitenges in your house, say you get a 3-bedroom apartment, one of the rooms you live alone, one of the rooms is you tailor make them there.
Yeah.
So that tax is not factored in.
Yes, true.
So there was
and a lot of people
most
pay
people.
taxes.
In fact, after 2020,
Uh-huh.
most people realize that you actually don't need an office.
Yeah. Actually, most people are now working from home.
Yes,
Yeah.
after 2020, most businesses decided, why am I hiring space when I can turn one of my rooms or run a SKU
Yes, into an office.
yes, and then there's a lot of shared space.
Yeah, true.
So I think that comes. What comes to mind?
I think when I think taxes, and there's apart from being a tax consultant, and I think about taxes as a common mwananchi, I feel like this year has been, or 2023, 2024, the taxes have been very punitive.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
So you will get your pay slip na utaangalia ile gross amount yenye unalipwa, and then you look at what you actually go home with. It's a lot. We pay a lot, and I feel like now even the government is going a notch higher in terms of these other levies.
Yes.
So the NSSF, the NHIF, the other things, the housing levies. There's a lot of levies just apart from the normal
what's the deal
taxes.
on housing living though?
We were told to continue paying until the courts rule on that.
You remember that time that kidogo
karibu tuambiane ni refundie housing levy. Yes.
So, that was going to be something.
Yes.
If you think about it.
Yeah. So I think as a common person, and I think even the feel of a lot of people, they're saying that it's becoming too much.
Yeah.
It's becoming too much.
What's the effect of that as a specialist?
I think
if you overtax people,
disposable income. So whatever you take home is kidogo, and then now you're not able to invest or save. So you'll just be living hand to mouth.
So what happens to a country when that happens? Is there a country that comes to mind that has overtaxed its people? Or if you think about the probability, if Kenyans become overtaxed, what's the ripple effect to the economy?
I think paying taxes is not bad, because if you look at some other countries who pay as high as 45%, 50%, which is a lot, but facilities work.
Yes.
You get, so there are
roads.
I can take my child to a public school,
healthcare.
I can go to a public hospital and get medical
government services.
Yes, I can get good government services. The roads, I don't have to own a car.
Processing things.
Yes, processing things, all those things. But now if you think about Kenya, where we pay taxes, yes, but like part of those taxes, or even majority of the taxes are stolen by individuals, then sadly, it means, yes, if whatever I take home as an individual, I'll only be using that to run my day-to-day, go to work, eat,
and I still have to again pay for these other services that the government should be able to facilitate.
So I feel like the middle class will be very miserable. Yeah.
Which is something that we were warned about, but anyway, this is not a political episode.
Yeah, so I think kutakuwa na ile issue, yes, you just work, but you're not progressing in life. Yeah. And I feel like it will have the ripple effect in terms of the way we want to promote local industries and local what. But if I am trying to come up with a company here in Kenya, and then you're taxing me so high, then sinifunge tu shop. Because a lot of companies have actually closed shops.
A lot of companies have closed shop. And if we open our borders, and even if I was saying, ile story ilikuwa mtungi, if we open our borders, now competition for resources is going to be 10 times more.
Yes.
So if say I grew up in a poor home, but walisema kwa mimi poor background inaisha after 30. You are the poor background.
You are the background.
You are now the background.
Yeah.
But if a billionaire's kid or a millionaire's kid is coming to this country to start something, but me,
who you want
a
to
predominant start, Kenyan, yes, a Kenyan by birth, I mean, the opportunities are not going to be the same.
Yeah.
We're not going to be on the same level starting our business, whether we are starting the same business or not.
Yes. But I also feel like the people who, like, how do I put it in a language that everyone will understand? The guys who are coming up with these taxes and amendments and all that should be also very careful not to chase investments in Kenya. Because there's a year that there's a tax they changed, and most of these people who come to Kenya for services to export to other countries felt like now Kenya is no longer a safe place to be in terms of taxes. They'll be paying a lot of taxes, and yet they are domiciled elsewhere. So they decided, let them go to countries like Uganda and Tanzania.
Or use other borders.
Or use other borders. Because, you know, in most instances, when you read articles, you will hear Kenya, you know, it's a technological hub. You get most of these back office things like accounting, bookkeeping, HR.
And we are very good at our jobs.
Yes. They do come and establish their businesses in Kenya. But when now you tax them too much, then guys are like, we can close our offices.
Yes,
Yeah, so that is something about taxes. And as I spoke about in the last episode about the way the finance at 2023, like people spoke about it so much. And so I think there is a need for, guys, tafadhali, ignorance inaishia class 8.
Let me tell you why you are still not rich. Ignorance. Let me tell you why you're not in the 1% ignorance. Okay, there's a lot of environment. But information is power. I think this morning I was having a conversation with my bro, and we were saying the way even if you can't afford therapy, right now, you can watch YouTube videos. You can read books. Like, you have the opportunity to read. People have taken the Finance Act and put it in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yes. There are slides online. There are tax consultants who can advise you,
educate
your
you based on where you are as an individual, as a company, as an NGO, as a church.
Kanisa.
Biashara iko pale kanisani.
Hata ongelelea sana lakini tafadhali have a tax consultant. I think having done taxes for some time now, you will find people are non-compliant. And one of the reasons why they're non-compliant is because of ignorance. So I'll give you a case example. Umemaliza Form 4, you want to join campus, you're told for you to open a bank account, you need a KRA PIN. Or for you to apply for help, you need a KRA PIN. So what do? You go to a cyber. Sasa, because those people are make up
KRA PIN 100 shillings.
You get.
Speak money so.
So you go there, you give out your ID, unafunguliwa PIN. But now the person who's doing that job, and not to badmouth people in cybers, but some people. So una find they're not well conversant with taxes.
They're also ignorant.
To that extent. Anakutikia all obligations. So you're supposed to only pay income tax for a resident individual. Lakini now atakutikia value added tax. And value added tax is an obligation that you need to pay to file monthly. So now wewe umeenda to campus, umekaa hata ujui that you're supposed to file a return.
You don't even know you should be filing a return every year.
Whether it's a nil, whether you have income every year. So now when you come, because I saw a lot of people, they now come later years, they are working.
4 years in,
tax
3 years
compliance,
in.
Tax compliance certificate.
TCC.
And you try and apply. And you're told that you have obligations.
Tulipe pesa.
Tulipe 200.
Tulipe tukupe TCC yako kwa kipole. That is scary.
Yes, and so maybe unahitaji for a business deal or something. Wewe ulifungua PIN hata kuipewa hiyo.
And you've never even looked at it.
You've never even gotten even the help.
Maybe you got the help, but you've never looked at it.
But hujawahi angalia. So now unaambiwa sasa na you just be
taxman.
Yes.
Give me my money.
And there was a time that KRA would give a leeway to ignorance, but nowadays.
But the government is broke, so hatujui hiyo. But even by Kenyan law, ignorance is not a defense.
Yes, it is not a defense because everything is on the law.
Ukipatikana na simu yenye imeibwa
na wewe ulinunua,
that is not our business. You look for the thief that sold to you so that you be we release you, but for the most part tunakushika wewe.
So I think for individuals it is very important for you to see the tax obligations you have.
So what can you do as an individual as at now?
As at now, you can.
As a student,
are you able to log into iTax?
Yeah, you can actually log into iTax.
It just needs a PIN and your password. Which your password you can
which changes every time.
It changes every time.
As long as you have an email address.
Yes. And check the obligations you have. You can actually just go and see, or even not even you don't have to log into iTax. You can just take your PIN. There's a place where it says PIN checker.
Yes.
On the face of iTax. Click there. And then put your PIN, and then it will
tell you the
obligation.
Kuna na math.
13 plus 5. And then you check, are you paying income tax resident, which is for everyone? And then, do you have VAT? Do you have rental income, because those things are there.
They are
It's
they're
information
listed.
that is out there.
Yeah, they're listed.
Another thing you can do, guys, najua na promote KRA, lakini you can work into any KRA.
You can. That's the
Customer care.
one thing Kenyans don't know.
Yes.
Like you have access. Unaona hiyo pay unalipa. Unaona hiyo ushuru unalipa. It affords you walking into the office.
Yes.
And
you
asking,
can walk in.
what's this?
Call. There's
What
a
is
customer
this?
care line.
Yeah, which has greatly. Let's give KRA their flowers.
Yeah,
Those customer lines have greatly improved.
Yes. Yeah.
From my campus days, they have greatly improved.
Yeah. And
Whenever-
also,
queries, they answer queries.
They
when
do.
you go to the office. Customer care KRA is doing a fantastic marketing. KRA and customer care 10 out of 10. Yes.
And so I also think that you just need to know as an individual what are your tax obligations. If you are an unemployed person, please, not even unemployed, either employed or not employed, please file your return.
It's basic.
It's due 30th of June.
Any basic math.
Aki to file to return.
And you can file your return as early as
January 1st.
Yes. Early as as early as this month.
Yes.
You can actually file your return this
If you
week.
need any assistance, I'm here.
But Wakenya ni nani?
Watangojea
31st May. This thing is not 30th June. This thing. There's trouble in paradise. Like just
Yes.
Yeah. And Jackie is one of the best tax consultants we have in this country.
You know, guys.
So reach out. Hakuna haja uko na pesa, haujui kufile returns na unateseka. Let your money help you.
True. And then now for employed individuals, please ensure that you get your P9.
You have no. Let me be very clear. You have a right to your P9 from your employer.
Yes.
And unaweza wacha washika. You have a right to your P9. Mtu asikunyanyase, you have a right to your P9. Kama amekuemploy, you have a contract, you have a right to your P9. Even consultants. Yeah, you have a right to your P9.
You have a right to information regarding what taxes you're paying.
Yes.
Yeah, and
they cannot withhold it. Because we've had stories of guys who say, in my former company, you are not allowed to be given. I'm like, then why? How are you filing your returns? Is a bit of information too. Acheni kubeba ufala hii country.
You have a right to your P9. And even as you look at your P9, it's also important from a day to day. I don't know whether there are companies that you don't get an automatic pay slip.
Yes.
There are companies that send you. So I think if you don't get, it's important for you to ask for your pay slip and look at your finances, like how much am I paying for taxes?
NHIF
ngapi.
Oh, another thing you can do that people don't know, you can also go get your NHIF and NSSF statement.
Yes.
So, wewe umefanya kazi mahali miaka hizo sitazisema, si mnajua count. Now, these people have been saying they've been paying this money. They have not been paying, and they have been deducting you from your pay slip.
From your pay slip, yes.
So you can actually go to NHIF and ask for a statement.
Yes.
You can actually go to NSSF and ask for a statement. So you can have an employer who you think is paying these dues,
but they are not.
Yes. So one time you want to go and use NHIF because
default.
Yes. And you're
sad.
like, what? They have been employers. There are some employers who are very funny.
Yeah, and also with NHIF, I think something I need to say, the statement helps.
Yes.
Because sometimes when they say you are very inactive in using your NHIF, unapata ulikuwa mgonjwa lodo.
Yes, man. And you are not enlisted in the airlifting services that certain companies
wewe jina yako iko Jojo alikuwa mgonjwa lodwa. So ushalipiwa hosi na kila kitu. But kumbe someone is using you as a dummy.
Yeah, because they've seen you have never used it.
Yes.
Especially for some of us who are privileged to have medical insurance.
Yes, so it's important to get those
details. Once a year, whenever you're filing your returns, you can make it a practice.
Yeah.
I never used to do this until last year. You get your one of my colleagues, Alinchanwa, you get your statement and just see if it's truly being remitted or not. Yeah. And if you're, what's the name of these people? Entrepreneur.
Yes, entrepreneur.
It's usually, for them, initially, before this, it was some money that you can pay.
Yeah, you can pay.
At you can just decide to make it a yearly expense or a quarterly expense. Yes, you knock it off. Yeah. Yes. I've seen it in NHIF. Well, they tried some ways, but I've seen it help some people.
Yeah,
I don't know about NSSF, but
yeah.
I've seen it
anyway, so what I was saying previously before we
digressed,
it was that even as you look at your pay slip and you look at how much you pay and all that, after you file your return, please try and apply for a TCC.
Oh yes, immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what happens nowadays, and I've seen this with some companies that come and set up in Kenya, and even maybe the companies in Kenya where they don't have budgets. So what they do, they deduct your pay as you earn, your NHIF and NSSF, but they don't remit to KRA. Yes. And you see now the obligation of paying the taxes is on the employer if you are employed. So what happens is someone where umesha file return yako, in fact imeenda, then unapewa defaulter notice na KRA, unaambiwa you owe KRA this much because wewe umedeclare, umesema nili earn this amount
because your P9 is clear.
Yes. Mimi nili earn hii amount lakini corresponding side from KRA because it's supposed to match. Yes, so it's important to just see, because I had a case of a friend ilimhapenia hivyo
and they didn't know. Imagine you, it can actually be you.
It can actually be you. So it's important to, after a file return, just try and apply for TCC to see whether actually you're compliant. Yes.
Such a big, just such a small big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you've realized there's no money in pocket. Oh, as an employer, what are tips you can give employers? What are tips you can give NGOs, churches? Do churches pay me tax?
I think for employers, normal companies, sole proprietors, it's the same thing. There is compliance on a lot of taxes that I may not get into because this is not a class.
No, because if you want us to give you those services,
yes. But whatever you're supposed to pay and file by 20th, please do so. Whatever you're supposed to do by 30th June or 30th September or whichever date, please do so.
When your financial year is coming to an end.
Yes, you do audit and I say even for people who are coming up with businesses as early as
now this week,
keep your records.
Yeah, this week, as early as this week.
Yes, keep your records, pay whatever taxes you need to pay. I know kuna kuanga na wale watu wa flight risk wa tu kaende. We will start and go as that. But it's important.
We will go with the flow.
Yes, because there's I don't know whether you watch CTA clearing the airwaves.
Well, yes. Lakini naona vile wanawapea shout out. Lakini ni sawa. No, I like what CTA is doing. They do a fantastic job. You guys do a fantastic job. I really enjoy your episodes.
Yeah,
they're well done.
Yeah, so there was an interview with Rina Hicks. I think a founder of nimesahau your investment company yake. And she was saying that they formed a company with a friend. So it's like me and you, we come up with a company, travel and tours. But mtu mwenye alikuwa na registeria PIN, akaregister VAT, which I think it was supposed to be registered in the first place. But no one explained to them
what this exactly means. Yes.
You get. So they have, they have done businesses.
Wanaendelea
2-3 years. Wanaendelea tuna biz. They get a demand letter from KRA.
KRA is not playing with you. You get those letters from them. They are not even playing with you.
Nowadays, even they close bank
accounts.
So, compliance, try as much as possible. Everyone, even NGOs, kutakuwa na something that you need to pay or to file or
understand.
Understand about taxes. Churches, the same. In as much as they are exempted from tax, nowadays churches have schools. They have buildings,
hospitals.
They have hospitals. So
they
it's
do
important.
Business.
Yes, they do business. Yeah, but I've seen these big churches. They take in tax consultants. So it's important for everyone to understand tax. Hata kama si a big understanding of it, but to just get to know what are my obligations as an individual, as a company, as an NGO, as a all those things.
I highly recommend you start. I'm not saying don't start a church because there are enough churches. But if that's going to be your route, if you're going to, let me speak to NGOs because I don't believe in people starting new churches. It's just too much.
Yeah.
If you're going to start an NGO, because for the most part there's a myth that goes around that NGOs don't pay taxes and they're not as obligated as much, just find out what is needed. Yes. Just find out. Yeah. Even for people who are just about to join campus and getting their KRA pins from the beginning, the strength that Jackie started with. Just find out. You don't even need a cyber to open EasyV2. You can actually
walk to KRA offices, call tax consultants.
Just walk to KRA office with your laptop or even your phone and go and say nataka pin na sijui kufungua pin. They will actually assist you. Like I said, KRA customer care and call lines and marketing team are doing a fantastic job in that regard. Yeah. But now you know your taxes, but where is the money? What do you think about money? What's your financial What's your financial health like? Or how do you regard finances?
I think I can do better, to be very honest. And I think the first episode, is it the first episode or which is second episode, where we talked about conditioning? Is
Second.
We treat money the way we were brought up.
Yeah. In the environment that you grew up in.
Yes. Because
how you saw adults treat money.
Yes. Because there's a friend of mine who was saying that you grow up listening to hakuna pesa. So
scarcity mentality.
And so it can go two ways. You can either treat money as scarce,
yes,
or you can overdo.
Yes. Now you just buy.
Like kaende.
Kidogo najua toko kwa hiyo bracket but twende tu.
Yeah. So I am in a journey of unlearning money, like unlearning myths about money. Yeah, and things that don't work. And now relearning and learning new things.
And doing better.
And doing better, yeah. How about you?
I'm very bad with money, guys. It's just sad.
It's the confession for me.
I am such a galmat when it comes to some things. Like, there's a trip that my friend had invited me to do. I was like, I can't go on that trip because I don't want to go on a trip and I'm counting money. Like, and I'm like, hey, how many people we've spent?
Yeah.
$200, please. I'm just doing the math. I'm thinking anytime now. You know, that is bad financial health because I like to go on trips. I don't care whether the bank account is going or not going. But, you know, that means I need to set up a fund.
Yeah, for
that extent. Yes. I think the other day, a buddy of mine was telling me, Najua, since you work to the holidays on a plan kututolea paka trip. Nico like, so you're saving towards it? I'm like, I should.
But am I?
I should be saving towards it. Don't get it twisted. I should be. But the question is, am I? Like, for example, the way we were starting this pod, shout out, that was a highlight in 2023.
You know,
we started a podcast in December.
It's 3 months old, guys.
I'm so proud of us.
3 months.
Ni God, Jackie.
Yeah.
Like, and your support, guys.
Yeah.
Keep watching, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. The button, si mnaijua, notify.
Kabisa.
Kama.
So, Ella, umesubscribe?
I hope so. Na by the way tuliambiwa page yake si makeup by Ella.
Yeah,
on that high note.
It's Kits and Brushes.
Yes, Kits and Brushes. So you can check out. I was saying when we were spending money and we were just looking at each other like, you know, we are both not mentally
and
okay.
Then you go collect.
We are not.
This is a lifetime investment.
Yeah, we were like, this is just alarming.
Yeah.
So coming into 2024, even when we were doing our budget, we were very keen on how we were doing the long story short podcast budget. There's a budget. Feel free to sponsor an episode.
Sponsors, guys.
So yeah, I know how I spend. My spending money is not
healthy.
It's not healthy. Yes. Like say if I am spoiling Jackie, I just spoil her.
Oh God.
If I die, I die. Yeah. If I'm spoiling my mom, like
do you have a budget, a monthly budget? Like
I have a budget. I have an emergency fund. The question is the emergency fund emergencing or being used? This year I am not touching that fund.
Siweke kwa money market or somewhere where you can
pesa yako di yako, Jack. If you want to access your money, you'll access it.
So you even access it, Jojo?
I withdraw from that fund and use it because you can die tomorrow. And then now
tukuje tukule.
Hey!
Next of kin ako tu hapo.
Unaona vile nafikiria? Sifikiri vizuri. But this year I have promised myself, which is something that we spoke about. I promised myself not to touch my emergency fund. Like if that thing it's not within the budget, it's not within the budget. Because I usually feel like, kwani ni emergency gani hiyo yenye pesa inaenda kusolve? Wacha hii kaende.
Spontaneous when it comes to live alone, traveling, spoiling friends and family. Are you spontaneous when it comes to buying stuff?
No.
Okay.
Buying stuff. I'm spontaneous in making memories. Yes.
Okay.
And you know, I don't buy people surprise gifts.
You actually see.
I usually ask. Like hizo vitu za surprise reward kwa watoto niko zile Jack unataka nini? And then I see you if I'm most times I try to push na kuna kitu nilikuwa nasema by the way imebaki bado sijakupea. Ni vile bado nilisema sishike emergency fund. Itanuliwa kwa budget. Itanuliwa kwa budget. Nikwambia tujaribu budget. Atuchezi by the way this year I am not touching that fund, guys. I am very clear on. So yeah, there's a lot of this year I'd like to understand money
So are you reading books, listening to podcasts
Yeah.
on money?
And every
watching
week
YouTube
I have to
videos
learn something
about money? Yeah.
and wealth and investment. One of the things I think I caught myself doing wrongly is I do a lot of SWOT analysis and financial something when I want to start something.
Also, you don't jump on it. You do.
I stay for even a year instead of just once you've already done that first analysis, you can just run with it. Yeah, you don't have to stay. So that is one thing that I picked, and also how I am quick to play with my emergency fund.
Oh yeah.
So as of now, my
so is there something that
lucky.
you've learned last week on money?
Last week on money, that guy that I sent you, was it last week?
Was it last week or the other week?
I can't remember. The guy who spoke about ignorance and saying, if you want to get to a plus point, a certain level of just, if you mimic the person who is already there, yes, it's just a learning problem.
Yeah.
It's not an anything problem. You have access to information, get the information, and implement the information. So that was last week, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So you, any myths about money?
I think I'm just really trying to unlearn that money is not, like, money is scarce. So I want to believe money is not scarce.
It's in abundance.
Yes.
Pesa iko.
But you have to put in the work. Yes.
The best billionaires, their money work for them though. And they have more than one source of income.
Yeah.
I am yet to see a millionaire or a billionaire whose only source of income is one.
Yeah.
Even when they start with one, they immediately
diversify
into various things.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things people can do this year? What are some of the industries you feel people can explore? Do you believe that kuna industries kuna pesa na zile hazina?
I feel like there's a space for everyone. Nowadays, I am also learning to believe that there's a space for me. If I want to open, what can I say? Like, see the way Airbnbs are all over. If I want to open an Airbnb, there's a space for me. You get. I feel like
it's not them. There's a lie that the market is saturated.
It's saturated. No. It's just for you to see what will work for you.
The niche,
yes. And try it out. Ikianguka pia
unachukua vitu zako unapeleka ushago. Sasa nyumba yako ya Nairobi siko na vitu. Now you carry your things from the Airbnb, you take to the village.
But I've seen people nowadays bonds. Yeah.
MMFs are a good place to start. If you are very afraid, you are risk averse.
But even those things sometimes fail. As in, I feel like the moment you, actually the lady Rina Hicks was saying, the moment you just want to invest money, that's already a risk.
Yes.
Whether high, whether low,
you are risking your money. Because the alternative would kuweka pesa chini ya mattress.
Na nasema pia ni risk.
Juu chini ya mattress nyumba inaweza
pia kuweka kwa bank, pia kuweka kwa current account unapata tu una charges zinatolewa.
There is no thing that is not a risk. So what are some of the places you recommend people to put in their money? MMFs, bonds, SACCOs. Do you subscribe to the SACCO life?
I do because most of my colleagues everywhere I go there in SACCOs. So it's a good space if you want to changa your money for something
and get a good loan to do something. MMF's bond or something. I think I was speaking to campus students and telling them they have the privilege of starting any business without capital.
But they campus students nowadays, Gen Zs are showing us that.
Yeah, because honestly, one of the things that has really revolutionized business is that you don't have to have stock. Kitambo, you needed to have a warehouse.
Yes.
Put in the pillows if you're going to sell pillows. And then now sell. Now you sell something that you don't have. So if it's a pair of shoes, if it's a pair of shoes, they pay you. You go and buy, you sell it to them.
Yes.
I was having a conversation last week, but one with a friend who was telling us, like the person she uses for errands, he makes even 50K.
Nowadays there are people who run your errands.
Yes.
In Nairobi.
He makes about 50K.
Hiyo
tu. Ati mtu ananunua kiatu at 5,000 anaenda kuinunua at 3,500 or at 3,000. So he's made 2K. If he makes even 10 shoes, 2 times 10K. So that is on shoes. And then he runs other errands on bags. Like that. And then he's also an errand person. So he never sleeps hungry.
Because I was saying there are ladies, even men who do errands.
Yes.
You send them with specific photos and
instructions
like to go to Kamkunji to get you things, household items or something. Or they take you.
Yes.
Because you're not very familiar with kamkunji.
Yes.
Wanakuchukua kwa hizo
shops. You show them what you want, and then they take you to shop by shop.
Yes.
They even tell you the price, and then now you go with them and pick what you want.
Yeah.
You can actually it's basically TaskRabbit without a website called TaskRabbit. Or you can try Upwork. If you want
Upwork, if you have some skills, and even if you don't, really, you can learn things nowadays. Virtual assistant trainings are online.
They are really growing.
They are growing.
It's something. If you are in campus and if you're in campus and you're sleeping hungry, to some extent, I think you need to get up and do the work. Because hata laptops ni machines bado ni free kwa lab. Ama kuna ngoma bado na computer lab.
Nowadays in universities you'll find computer labs.
And there's Wi-Fi. Shikaneni watu wawili muanze kitu. Honestly, you have something that you don't even know. You can sell anything and not have to stock it. Like, that's just mind-blowing.
It is.
In campus, you have a lot of time, or at least I remember I had a lot of time. Today we were speaking about the way we are so beat. Tumechoka. School, work, business, hustle. It's a lot. Long story short, it's something. But when in campus, you have the opportunity to fail. Try another one. Ni speakers haziendi. Nunua hii. Cables, laptops
nini.
So that is the online writing of our time. Because our time we had online writing.
Yes.
True, so you can sell anything and not have to stock it. And this is not only to campus people, even when you are unemployed.
Unemployed, I feel like bora you have internet and a computer, and even if you don't have that, bora you know your space and you know Tao and you know what. I feel like you can do something with
and
your life.
Let's not get it twisted. It's not easy. I'm not saying you will start the thing, and I'm not saying that it's an easy job, you will start saying that's not what we are saying. We are saying these are things you can actually consider doing. Yes. And it will. We have seen people who've been successful to that extent.
And also, as you said, we also need to learn new skills.
Wow, that's a thing that we are doing.
We need to learn new skills that can make us money. We need to expand your sources of income. So we'll say hii mwaka ni 7 plus 1.
7 plus 1 sources of income.
Yes.
Successfully. You need to learn a skill and then sell the skill. I think one of the things that most Africans are not taught to do is sell a skill. So say I have the privilege of being very good with text, broadcasted text. In terms of putting emojis and stuff, you could hold a masterclass on it, or rather, in this case, I'm speaking to myself.
You're speaking to
I could
yourself.
hold a masterclass on it, and it doesn't have to be a masterclass where people come and sit in. You can come up with packages, gold, platinum, silver, on guides on how to learn how to do this.
Even guys nowadays, you do masterclass for how to use Instagram.
Yes, you don't even have to put a video out. You can come up with templates that people can copy paste,
or you can pre-record.
Yes,
and then just let it stay in a certain site or something.
Yes, until it ever hits whatever. So these templates, people can buy the template. Now usiuze pesa mingi. Hata ukiuza tu 5999 tumia psychology. So unauza 600 but 5999. 9999 1000. 19999. So sell templates. If I want to start a business in makeup, you give people templates. So there's a template for platinum. That's the one that has almost anything. It's home, armor, gold, and then you put prices on it. Or where some of the spaces they can buy makeup. Legit makeup. And their price points. So you give people ideas on where they can go to. Unaweza fungua ile website ya one page.
Even
domain ni 800.
I nowadays see people branding cups. I think I've also seen guys doing branding of t-shirts like Tea by Sharon.
Tea by Sharon. Kweni kama Tea by Sharon. Mtu ana sponsor episode mtu wangu. You can sponsor an episode mtu wangu. Come we collaborate.
So you can also do that. I see. You can go brand, get your 100 bob, 200, 300.
Pesa ni pesa. So and what we were saying with my buddy, I think 2 weeks ago, was that thing of the problem is if you remove shame, you can actually make money.
Yes.
You can actually make money. Ati Jackie wa detergents. Ni sawa?
Kwani mimi niko na shida?
Si ni hela zinaingia? Haya. Jackie wa detarded is slowly growing into a millionaire when so Jackie was mtumba. Okay, see, I don't encourage mtumba. Jackie wa lights, acha tutumie lights. Jackie wa lights. I encourage people to buy Kenyan brands. Just buy good clothes. Jackie wa lights, kitu kama hiyo, Jackie wa makaa, Jojo wa streaming. If you remove the shame, you can actually do business in anything.
And I think of late I've been just looking at how people out here are hustling. Like you'd get watu kwa mjengo nini those guys, and I think it's good to respect hustle ya mtu. Please don't be asking money and with entitlement.
Where do we have time? Or that's a whole episode. It's the way, and that's why you remember when I was telling you, it's such a privilege when somebody gives me money, because the way I think about it is divide by. So say if you give me 10K, I'm just wondering how many days
did you
went,
go up, you woke up, you showered,
you went to work for a full day. Yes, so that's how I think about it. That's how I think about anyone who gives me anything. I'm just like, that was a full day's work, or that was 2 days work, whatever it is. Yeah, like umechukua 20K yako ukanitumia randomly to buy lunch or to go somewhere. Like, that's how I think about it. I'm like, you woke up for me, not for you. All that money was for me. And that's how I think about money. So entitlement, I don't get it.
Because
you make bad choices.
I've been making a joke of how you will find guys from Jengo or, sweeping the streets or, or doing very manual labor.
Tasking
or
jobs.
Even if it's not manual, like someone has actually woken up, kama director wetu hapa amesema ajalala the whole night.
Yeah, imagine.
And then mtu akuja kwambia nitumie 2K urgently.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Na kona kiburi. It's the way you're even asking. I don't know what happened to shamefacing. Kuna vile unafaa kuomba pesa na unajua na kunyenyekea. Una feel like I see black anatumanga hiyo pesa. Si atume tena.
Yeah, so I really feel sad for people who, I don't know, not sad but disappointed when people don't actually recognize the effort that someone puts into the work.
Whatever the work is. And I think the other thing people need to learn is respect people's craft.
Yes.
Please respect people's craft. I keep saying it. Hakuna kazi rahisi.
Hakuna kazi rahisi.
Hakuna kazi rahisi. The person who cleans your house versus you who sits in the office.
Yes.
Same side. You remember that conversation we were having and saying if a pregnant person, once they have delivered, a mom, once they've delivered, when they go back to the office, whether they're sitting there in the laptop or they're actually doing the tasking, hakuna rahisi.
Hakuna rahisi.
Yote ni kazi. Yote they have to stay away from their child to do it.
Yeah.
Respect people's needs. Yeah. There's a song, I'm forgetting, it's a reggae song. Kingdom Warriors. Kaini tu kwa hiyo corner, please. Ni song ya reggae nina make sense. I think I'll try look for it. It says respect everyone's work.
Respect the hustlers in the streets, finding how to make two ends meet.
Yeah, it's a beautiful jam by an African who's doing a good job.
So I think guys in
full circle taxes.
Yeah. So I think one thing I forgot to talk about taxes is that there's something called, allow me to look at it. There's something that the government is trying to look at called medium-term revenue strategy.
Where there is smoke, there is fire. Please, if you don't get anything in this episode, when it comes to taxes, here and everywhere in the world, ukisikia kuna smoke. It's only a matter of time. But I'm not alarming anyone. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert in speaking about this, but I just thought it's something to mention. Medium tax revenue strategy basically is an approach for enhancing domestic revenue. So what this document, and it's online, guys. You can Google na musome mujue vile kutaenda.
I really love your thoughts on it, guys. I looked at it and I was like, hey.
Siwezi waambia kila kitu. But anyway.
I think this country and circus. Aki country sometimes, but ni sawa.
But anyway, in summary, what the document is talking about is that they are trying to increase domestic revenue, and in increasing domestic revenue, then they have to review various taxes. So kama ni pay as you want, they want to review to see kama watapunguza. So the most wording of
punguza
it,
what?
So ngoja usikize.
Sawa.
Ama basonge.
I'm speaking for the people. I'm speaking for the people who read that thing. But ni sawa.
Anyway, so I think the wording is not very straight. So it talks about review, and when we say review,
The
it can either
vagueness.
be up or down.
The
Yes.
vagueness is very wanting.
Yeah, so it's a document that they're trying to see. And also they're talking about these tax changes that come in year by year.
Yeah.
Can it be like a tax change that can go for 3 years?
Yeah.
Or a period
Like a
of time?
period.
Yeah.
Like say in the next 5 years
we are doing
A,
this A, B, C, D.
to cover B.
Yes.
And then in the next we drop it and then we pick something else.
Yeah,
Or you even know this tax is going to run for 9 years, 7. Same way with the investments.
Yeah,
You know when
yeah.
they are going to mature.
Yeah.
So it's some sort of maturity.
Yeah, so we will see how it goes.
I highly recommend you read it. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it.
Let's read, guys.
Yeah.
Tusomeni hizi vitu ziko kwa internet.
It's something.
Yeah,
That thing is something.
It is something. Yeah. So I think in summary, when it comes to taxes, I've just talked about we've talked about is let's be compliant. Let's not be ignorant. We cannot afford 2024 ignorance.
Wezi, kuna watu walikuwa na realize kuna finance act last year ndo walisikia wakole kuna kuanga na act.
Okay.
Let's not be caught by surprise in 2024. And I know we have the privilege of going to business schools, at least I do.
Yeah.
Of going to business schools and studying this thing, but easy vitu size kwa internet.
Ziko kwa internet, ziko everywhere.
You can walk into
People
any
share.
office.
I feel like even TikTok nowadays you can just say how to find 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and it will
pop up.
Yeah,
Yes.
for those of us who for those of us who are on TikTok. Yes.
So
But yeah, thank you so much for staying with us to the very end. We hope and pray that this year truly you learn about money. And taxes and how what you apply for affects your overall health.
Yes.
Apply for your TCC, very important. Ask for your P9. Apply for your statements from NHIF and NSSF. Find out if your employer is truly remitting those funds. If you are an entrepreneur, I highly recommend you schedule those payments either by quarter or by year into your payment scheme so that you're covered. And I highly recommend you start doing something to increase your source of income. We can no longer rely on one source of income. So, and remove shame from it. Jojo Amaka, like remove shame from it and just do the work. You know, when you become a billionaire, nobody will care where it came from.
at the end of the day, you go home.
Yeah,
To your home.
Yeah. Find out what myths surrounded your upbringing. Like when Jackie said scarcity. Are you thinking from scarcity? Are you thinking from abundance? Read books. If you want us to recommend books, you can ask and then we will recommend a few books. Yeah, so I think taxes.
Yeah, so thank you guys. So our quotes for the day.
Yeah, it's
for the episode.
Yeah, it's for the episode.
Yeah, guys, know your value, then add tax.
Woo! That's the word right there.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Till next time.